Hey, welcome to my presentation. My name is Juan Pablo Vargas. Yeah, I recently just moved to another house, so therefore I have been in trouble placing my monitor and my webcam. So I will be turning around to see my monitor and then my webcam. So will be a little bit weird. So hope you don't mind with that, Mr. Luis Alberto. Hope you like my presentation. Okay, so as I was saying, my name is Juan Pablo Vargas Garcia. I'm going to show you my expository activity about the negative and vicious effects of cigarettes on the human body. This is very interesting because in this presentation, we are able to see how those cigarettes that they sell in a lot of stores, OXXO, HEB, lots of them, we're going to see how that cigarettes can affect the people, even to killing them. Yeah, something crazy. So we're in this slide, we're going to talk about how the respiratory and circulatory system are involved in the effects of the tobacco. Okay, the tobacco has a lot of chemical toxins, such as nicotine, that when you inhale them, they go through your respiratory system, they penetrate it, they go to your lungs. So that toxic particles are transported in the circulation for then go to your tissues to all your tissues of your organisms. So yeah, this is how the toxins of the cigarettes work, and they enter the respiratory system. You just smoke, they went through to your respiratory system, and finally they go to your lungs. Um, then for uh, then we're going to talk about how they affect you. Okay, so as I was explaining, those cigarettes have a lot of chemical substances, a lot of toxins that when they enter to your respiratory system, they harm it a lot. So they can cause illness if you do frequently, such as cancer, or even you can have a heart attack in the most extreme cases, or stroke. In addition, these substances, after circulation hardening, they affect the arteries. They produce high blood pressure in it, and they can damage the organs such as the kidneys, lungs, liver, the arteries that are distributed throughout the body, and of course the heart and brain. Okay, so in addition, they of course can bring you a lot of consequences. They can damage you a lot, the point of giving you diseases as lung cancer. That's where it's a disease that we're going to talk in this presentation later. And also, if you do a lot, you smoke very frequently, you can also die in most extreme cases. Okay, so cancer in smokers is due to an alteration of their DNA of the cells. And in these people, the cancer most mainly occurs in the lungs, tongue, larynx, kidneys, in the blood. You can get leukemia, esophagus, stomach, pancreas, and the colon and rectum. So yeah, you can get affected a lot by smoking. Okay, so what are the physiopathological effects of tobacco on both systems? Um, you can get a lot of effects. So some of them are getting, in the worst cases, getting lung cancer. Also, you can have erectile dysfunction in men. You have the risk of a lot of cancers, such as the others that I was saying the last slide, such as cancer in larynx, tongue, rectum, colon, a lot of them. So also you have the risk of getting to type of diabetes, and also you how I say it, you weaken your immune system. Your immune system get very bad. Conclusion. Yeah. So you also can have other effects less commonly, such as lack of appetite, infertility in women, um, and also when you buy the cigarettes in the OXXO, for example, in the boxes you can see some images showing you the cancer, and some of the consequences are the yellow fish. They started to getting affected, yeah, because of smoking and their chemical particles that we're talking in the other slides. Okay, so we talked about how the respiratory and circulatory systems got affected by smoking, and then we're going in this slide we're going to talk about how they work when we in persons that smoke. This is pretty interesting. So the respiratory system induces inhalation to increase the capacity of the thorax in the gaseous exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide. Yeah. So when you inhale, you get a lot. You get some oxygen and carbon dioxide, but you get more oxygen. And when you exhale, you get more. How I say it, you turn out more carbon dioxide. Yeah, your body throws out more carbon dioxide. It converts, your respiratory system converts that oxygen into that carbon dioxide, and then for throwing it out by your mouth or your nose. So yeah, during inhalation, we carry many toxic substances through the entire respiratory tract to the alveoli, and there is thickening of the alveolar wall that hinders the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide. The respiratory center of the brain contains carbon dioxide sensors, increasing the respiratory rate to compensate for gas exchange. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the circulatory system when smoking. So, in persons who smoke very frequently, excess of blood cells is very common. So they contain a lot of hemoglobin, and they travel transporting oxygen and carbon dioxide. So as I was explaining, in a person who smokes, excess of red blood cells are produced, sometimes causing thrombosis or clot formation. Yeah. Okay, so the cause of death is similar with thrombosis, because these arteries, what they do when a person got dead by smoking, they reduce their diameter sometimes until they produce a total obstruction of circulation. So when they make that total obstruction of circulation, your blood can get to your tissues and your heart, so it stops. Or in other cases, you can also have a cerebral attack. Yeah. But yeah, as I was explaining, this is very similar to thrombosis. In some cases, the deaths are caused by thrombosis. These arteries, as I was explaining, reduce the diameter, and they obstruct the path of blood. So that's when your heart stops, you get a heart attack. Or in other cases, the cerebral attack that can also bring you to death. Okay, respiratory and circulatory system when smoking. Here we're going to talk about both systems when you smoke in conjunction. So in the respiratory system, airway obstruction, there's airway obstruction and inflammation, And while in the circulatory system, there is obstruction in your arteries, so the blood can get through your organs or tissues. So that's when you get a heart attack. That was where something where we were explaining in the other slide. Also, in the respiratory system, increases airway resistance, increases airway reactivity, emphysema, increases heart rate, increases blood pressure, increases artery stiffness, and in our circulatory system, yeah, it affects, it can cause thrombosis. And also, you can get, when you smoke, the cancer, and your teeth, it has a gum disease, right? So what is an example of a negative outcome of tobacco disease that has effects on both systems, respiratory and cardiovascular system? So yeah, lung cancer is a very example of this, because lung cancer affects in your circulatory system and also in your respiratory system by very different ways. This is because, as I explained in the first slides, when you got cancer, it's because the DNA of your cells got affected and then make abnormality in the reproduction of this, consequently generating tumors that can spread through the body, to parts of the body, yeah. And this mechanism is most called metastasis. Yeah, and here is a photo of how the DNA can get affected, and then you can get cancer or a tumor that also can spread to your parts of the. They most frequently that tumors in smokers appear in the lungs. So lung tumors decrease the number of alveoli, thus reducing gas exchange. This is very common when in smokers, their respiratory system got affected. In here is an image of how the lungs can get affected, and it can affect the gas exchange. Okay, here are some interesting facts about smoking. So first, this first fact blow my mind because it's very crazy. Tobacco kills up to half of its users. So the people that sells the tobacco um, indirectly kill his clients. So it's weird, it's strange, right? So also the tobacco kills more than 8 million people each year. That's a lot. I think that the lung cancer, this is very interesting, but the lung cancer is responsible for 25% of all the deaths caused by cancer, of all the types of, involving all the types of cancer. Just the 25% it's caused by lung cancer. And I think if you smoke, you have between 15 and 30% more probabilities of getting the lung cancer than if you don't smoke. So that's why it is very harmful to smoke. And I don't recommend it. So as I was explaining, over 80% of the world, 1.3 billion tobacco users live in low and middle income countries. So 1 in 8 cancer cases are caused by smoking. 1 in 5 cancer deaths are caused by smoking. Smoking can cause 26 types of cancer, such as the tongue cancer, larynx cancer, colon, leukemia, lung cancer. Obviously can cause a lot of types of cancer. So yeah, Okay, so my conclusion is this. Smoking, of course, can bring you a lot of consequences, but it will depend on how much frequently you do it. So, a lot of people, I think that I will see my presentation, they will not mind. They will still doing it. So, I will recommend you is still, if you're still doing it, I recommend you to do it less frequently. At least do it less frequently for then be more healthy, I can say, and reduce your probabilities of getting lung cancer. So yeah, if you will continue smoking, at least you are aware now of the consequences of smoking. So um, as I say in the other slide, when you smoke, you have between 15 and 30 probabilities more percentage of probabilities more of getting lung cancer. Um, there are 1.59 million of deaths because of lung cancer, and 87 of them was due to smoking. So a lot of them was a lot of the cases, most of the cases, almost all of the cases are due to smoking. Due to smoking of lung cancer. Most of the lung cancer cases are due to smoking. Yeah, I can guarantee that. So smoking can give you problems for your health and even kill you, the worst case. So I recommend you to do it more frequently. And now you are aware of the consequences of doing it. So that's why it is important avoiding smoking or be aware of the consequences. In order, if you will still smoking, now I recommend you to do it with moderation, because moderation is the key for everything. So in summary, if you in the extreme cases, smoking can cause you the death. In extreme cases, or can give you a lot of types of cancers, such as the lung cancer that is more common, and others like tongue or larynx or leuemia, also very common smokers. And also, you have a lot of early of getting the lung cancer if you smoke. Uh, so yeah, moderation is the key for everything. Um, Thank you for your attention. Hope you like it. I'm sorry if I use a lot of time. It's because I wanted to explain it perfectly to you with all the details, because it is very important. Because if you know someone that smokes, or also if you smokes, you can share him or her this presentation, or you can give the advice or to him or her to smoke less frequently, because there are a lot of fatal consequences of it. Smoking is of the worst things that you can do it, and you can do, yes. Um, uh, I'm not just inventing those facts, or saying them because of, yeah, because I've won. Here it's my sources where I get all of this information. So if you get any doubt, you can see these upper references. You can go through the original sources for see also more information. So if you like the topic, you can go into the sites and see all the information. So I recommend you still reading of this topic. It's pretty interesting. So hope you like it. Yeah.